All right. Yeah.
I have just one thing to say.
What?
What the hell was that green thing he was holding? Because it looked like a something else.
It's a
Something
hairbrush.
Oh, because it looked like something phallic.
It's a hairbrush. Or, you know.
I think you just have a dirty mind, Katie.
Play it back. I swear to God, it literally looked like what?
Or, you know, you can go to, if you're feeling adventurous, and you could go watch, you know, the whole first part of the comic yourself and see that it is a hairbrush.
It is live on our second channel.
Yes, as is his fairy tale bars.
As is my fairy tale bars.
Yes. So, let's see here. Oh, is anyone here?
Cait, you can see if anyone's here up in the watch thing.
You should be able to. We can't see anything on our end.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, okay. So, it would seem
that we're all alone right now?
That we are alone right now.
Oh.
Betrayal. Betrayal by the audience.
Yes.
People will eventually show up, I think.
Yes.
I did forget to advertise.
Zachary.
I know. Well, did you advertise, Cait?
No.
Exactly.
I wasn't given the thing.
I mean, you could do it. You could get the hard way. Just go to Cait's channel and pull the link.
You can go to my channel.
That's how I usually do it to advertise the stream.
Okay, I will share it now.
Yeah, because I schedule my stuff ahead of time and to put it on there so people see, like, in their notifications for people that are subscribed to the channel and hit all the bells and stuff. They get all the notifications.
All of the notifications.
All the notifications of when my upcoming streams are. There's a person.
Oh, you didn't make a nice fancy thumbnail, Caitlin?
I have been doing like nice fancy thumbnails for our If You're Feeling Adventurous channel right now.
Right. I feels that.
And having to comb through B-roll. That's what I was doing until the wee hours today. With
Okay, I shared it on Twitter.
Yeah. And I am messaging Mason.
That's insecure. COVID. I convinced him.
Oh, how's the COVID?
Better.
That's good.
COVID.
Yes.
Update. Robe.
Yep. So, come on, Mason. Okay. I just messaged Mason. So.
Mason, why aren't you here?
Mason, why aren't you here?
You should be here on the stream.
Maybe.
Talking to us and being stupid. And Billy, you should be here sucking.
Yes, Billy, why are you not here?
Don't you know, Billy? We need you here.
I didn't understand, Billy. I didn't understand.
Ah, Billy.
Okay, it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Man, you know it's hot out here for a writer trying to get the audience to come to the stream.
But see, now that since they have sort of abandoned us, we could heckle them. To show them what happens when they do not show up. They're like, this is how we talk about you when you're not paying attention. See, we wouldn't be talking about you like this. No, we are generally pretty abusive to our audience, regardless.
They like it.
Yes, they do. They
They're
do
little
like it.
masochists.
Yes, yes. They like to be spoken to gruffly. Like, look here.
They're like, oh yes, heckle us harder. Or like the insult comics of AuthorTube.
Yes, yes. And apparently, this is a very interesting thing that Zach and I were talking about, Katie. We've realized that we are kind of the only ones that have sort of cornered the market on doing AuthorTube lives that are actually free.
That are free.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so if you think about all the lives that show up on other people's channels, the pretty much the only time they acknowledge chat is when it's a super chat. And most of that and most of the other AuthorTubers, all of their audience interaction happens like on their Discord servers and shit behind their paywall.
Oh.
Whereas whereas the three of us, we do this every week and we interact with the audience with no expectations. So
Yeah, that's how it should be. It shouldn't be like this is going to sound mean because I am on AuthorTube.
Oh,
But the moment you start hiding everything behind a paywall is the moment I unsubscribe and stop watching. Because I'm here to hang out and have fun. I'm not here to be like, oh, I just hung out with you for a few years, but now that your channel blew up, now everything's behind a paywall. Well, no.
Right.
Like, my view gives you money. Enough money, it should, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I see. I don't even look at it that way. The way I look at it is, if you really want to support me, you will go buy my book, you will share my shit around, you'll like it, you'll engage. That's all the support I expect or need from you.
Yeah.
If I don't need you to fucking pay to interact with me. First of all, that just makes now I feel like a whore.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Second of all, that's not a healthy dynamic. I honestly feel like things like Patreon, where you're paying to interact, and OnlyFans, and all that shit, it's just like you're commodity. You're making human interaction a commodity, and I don't support.
Well, see,
that.
I could understand Patreon to a degree. I don't give a fuck about OnlyFans. I don't like how on some Patreons they're like, I have a Discord group and you just pay $1 a month and you can be a part of it. It's like, well, I have a Discord group for my channel and it's fucking free. Anyone can join. Like,
right.
I would like people to actually be able to have fun and meet people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people, $1 is nothing. But to some people, because if we're being watched from all over the world, that might be something to them.
Right.
Like, or they might be like, why do I have to pay to talk to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like what Zach was saying, comment sections are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, any interaction is good interaction.
Yeah, exactly. You should be, driving for engagement, and one of the best ways to do that is to leave the door open without a cover charge, because that ultimately leads people to, getting to know you better, and then leading to them actually paying for what it is that you are soft selling them by all this free engagement.
At least that's our philosophy.
Oh God! Yeah. And what about the AuthorTubers, or it could be any YouTuber? It's like they do the hard sell at the beginning of their video, then they wrap it up with another sell, and then they're also wearing all of their merch, like their shirt, their dog is wearing their merch, their cup is their merch, their phone case is their merch. Everything screams their merch, and it's just like, we get it, you got shit to buy.
Right.
Like, can we just go back to being normal?
Well, I mean, that would be fun, I guess, as long as you were. I mean, because really and honestly, the reason why I make any of the merch I'm making is because it's fun. First of all, the money part is just a bonus, which we do have people buying. I will say.
See, like, I like the shirts, like the Humanity Canceled. I think that's cool. Like, if you want to show off your merch, do it. Just don't throw all the merch on in one video and then sell me shit at the same time twice, if not more. That's what I'm saying. But like, just wearing your shirt. Like when I have the podcasts with Lisa and Elmer, we have our show's logo on a shirt. So yeah, that makes sense. Just not like.
Yeah, I agree. The hard sell is super obnoxious. If you want to rep all your merch and just be like, hey guys, everything on screen is my merch. Link in the description if you want to support me. Let's get to the content. That's a nice casual level of sell that I'm totally cool with. It's like when you spend like 20 fucking minutes telling me about your merch store or telling me to go support you this way or that way. It's like, dude, can you fuck off?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Mason.
Hey!
Yes.
Preach.
Yes.
Preach, brother.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just waiting for like a YouTuber to have like a sell button where they just like slam the button and that button is doing the pitching for them and they just have to sit there. Like, buy my shit.
Caitlin, put it on the list.
Yes.
Oh my god, you guys could totally fucking do this for real. It could be like a panic button, and when you hit it, it says Humanity Canceled.
Yeah. Oh, eventually.
I got ideas.
Yes, eventually we're gonna have like a really cool table that looks like a control board, and it's got all of our canceled buttons on it.
That would be sweet.
Yes.
I want people to react like that whenever it's such an ego boost.
Well, we will react that way every time you show up on a live. There.
And Zach will be happy.
Yes.
I like my fans, man.
Yeah.
We have some. It's a small pool right now, but we have some really cool people that are part of these streams. I like Mason. I like Billy. Stags is a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you forget all about Nat? She's
cool.
Gonna be mad.
That's
She's gonna be like, Zach is canceled.
Listen, man. That's all right. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hey, she brings all the stoner smut. I'm cool with that.
Speaking of short stories, Mason, you told me you were working on a short story. How's that going?
Ah, yes.
Did you figure out?
I didn't write a story. Just
your.
I will say this
dilemma.
Though. My editing class finally started.
Oh, yay!
So.
You're taking an editing class?
Yep, because I'm gonna start offering. After this class, it ends. I think November 10th. After it ends, I'm gonna start offering editing services, like developmental edits, because I think I could actually excel in that area. Because that's basically what I do in all my book reviews. I'm like, well, if I was if I were to write this story, and then I'm gonna do different levels of editing and then proofreading.
Cool. Well, if you want things to build up your portfolio, I have some shit I can throw at you.
Because I am like, once I officially announce it on the channel, I'm gonna offer up 5 people like free editing, and then that will be under my belt. And then I could join Readsy, I think it was, and then I'm gonna do the Freelance Editor Association.
Yeah, and you may want to get on LinkedIn because I know a lot of people who get work on there. as
I'll
editors.
have to do that and I know another girl. She's part of the horror tube community. She does stuff on Fiverr, but I've never worked with that, so I don't know if it's like legit or shady.
Yeah, I would be careful. Just make sure that all of your like your description of what you offer and what you don't offer past a certain point is very, very specific.
Oh, I'm good with that. Details.
Yeah.
Like black and white, this is exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like, you promised me, and I'm like, I just said I'd do that.
Yeah. Be like, I just said for this particular thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited.
Yes. Yes. Oh, he says, going really well. I'm at 4,491 words now.
Now you have to say it in his accent.
Oh, well, I don't know if I can do a Liverpool accent.
Is it?
If that's
Isn't
what
Liverpool
it is.
the sort of refined accent where they kind of speaking like that highbrow, slightly elevated in the back of the throat kind of sound?
I don't know, but you sound a bit Aussie though. I will say.
My accents, I kind of bleed. I have a tendency to have some of them all bleed together, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, you're like, I'm from all of the UK. All of it. Every part.
Except the part where they speak Cockney, because this is like the worst British accent.
Because there's that,
Wait. How does that one go?
Oh, gracious. He says, stop it. I'm already blind. I need my ears now.
All right, Mason. No, I guess we're fighting. Because I'll punch you blind, dude. Fuck it.
Oh my God. No, now you just need to read his comments in a terrible British accent.
Oh, God. Stop it! I'm already blind. I need my ears now. Stop it.
Yeah, you have to put a mate.
The reason why where we got that from, you can go and you can pay up for this, okay? Because he said that he suspected you were from there. So it was an assumption, and as we all know, to assume is the quickest way to make an ass out of you and me. So
he's like, I am offended.
Yeah.
I am from Australia.
What part of the Queen's country are you from, Mason? I'm curious now.
He's like, Liverpool.
He said he wasn't.
That's why it's funny.
I'm excited. I got an arc on the way from a newbie author. This is gonna be good.
To review.
Yeah,
here.
It's a YA horror. Hey,
nice. Oh, YA horror. What's it about?
So I can read you the summary really quick. If there's going to be a review on my channel as soon as I get it. So, Oathkeeper's Servant. 14-year-old Cassie suspects the upcoming summer and school year to be the same as all those before. To add some flair into what she expects to be another mundane couple of months, she and her friends replicate a video spreading across the internet. Their attempted reenactment goes awry when the Oathkeeper, a malicious entity who seeks her as a vessel to restore his dying soul, abducts Cassie. After the Oathkeeper places a 7-pointed star atop her wrist, Cassie is temporarily released. And it goes on if you want me to continue that, but yeah, that's the first part of the summary.
Kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah.
He said, I'm from Stoke. It's about an hour away from Liverpool, and people always get her.
See, that's fascinating that you're an hour away from Liverpool, but there's a distinct difference in the accent. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because here in the U.S., you have to legitimately drive like 24 hours or more to get a change in how people talk most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, we have big swaths of the country that all speak in roughly the same accent. And then, of course, there's small little pockets that have, like, the Bronx, like, there's a distinct Bronx accent and a distinct, like, Brooklyn accent, for example.
You got people from Boston.
Yeah. Yeah, New York has, like, 3 or 4 different distinct ways of talking. because the
I was
neighborhoods
always
are
thought-
so isolated from each other, and they have such a my hood mentality in New York. It's just the culture over there.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah,
have
it
to
depends
ask
on
Elmer.
what borough you're in. Depends on
Because they're
How
in
you
the
sound.
Bronx. And if you hear Elmer talk, he definitely sounds like he's from New York. And
Yeah.
Lisa can do a good New York accent now that she's been there for forever.
So, I mean, man, Katie didn't write anything. All I wrote, well, I guess I could just read some of Ripjaw. I don't want to read the whole thing because that'd be like an hour and a half read.
Ripjaw?
Yeah, that's the name of the short story.
Yes, it's the name of the short story.
You could
Try
drive-
to- Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to go to
Just-
the UK. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I've heard,
Ireland. Or Scotland.
I've heard that about the UK, Mason, that you can legitimately drive the whole thing in like, like I think at the widest part, it's like an 18-hour drive.
Oh, that's still a long time.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, but for a whole country though,
Yeah.
Oh, true. True. Yeah.
Like,
okay. I'll give you
an
that.
18-hour drive would get me to like part of the way to Arizona.
I think 18 hours or 16 hours would get me to Vegas because I was gonna go drive home.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I can make Vegas in 18 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, because if I really pedal to the metal it from my house to my dad's house in Arizona, it can be done in like 22 and a half hours if you literally only stop for gas.
And no sleep.
No sleep.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
No, because sleep is for
Red
pussies
Bull
and
that
dead
shit
people.
like an adult.
That's right.
I do a line of meth off my steering wheel and drive straight through because I'm hardcore.
You sniff your pixie sticks and hope for the best.
When I got a problem, I do drugs about it like a real man. I have such a bad influence on the youth.
Only real men do drugs. Sadness.
If Pay said it, that. Oh, I see how it is, Mason. If Pay says it, it's okay. We're trying to get Pay. We're trying to get Pay to come on me and Cait's show
Yeah.
and have a debate about some stuff.
Yes. Yeah. We could make it our first We Are a Genius live show.
We could. We should.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
So, Caitlin, did you write something for today?
I brought the horrible short story episodes from the armpit fiend with an Oedipus complex.
Oh, you brought that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh.
said that.
Yeah, I said that
I'm
on
excited. I want to
last
hear it.
live because you want
It's
smut,
that.
Katie?
I just
I
want
just-
that dirty,
I
nasty
just-
smut
I
that
just-
makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, I just opened this file and was assaulted. And I was like,
Caitlin, go.
I wrote this.
Caitlin, go to the last 3 comments. She was saying that about the drug stuff.
Oh, yes. He won't have any opinions or answers about anything. Oh, I don't know.
Pretty real.
No, I might be able to tug something out of him.
I bet you would, Caitlin, you dirty girl. Yeah, I like Pay. Pay is a pretty chill dude.
Yes.
I do think one thing I will say about Pay, and I would say this to his face, is he needs to be a little bit more assertive in his like knowledge and opinions about stuff. Because he's obviously a very intelligent person. He's obviously very well read. But if you watch stuff on his channel, he qualifies all of his like statements and opinions and content. It's like, dude, You're obviously at least somewhat of an authority on this. Claim that
because
shit,
it's
man.
YouTube. You have to like have your personality on YouTube. Be kind, so you don't come off like an arrogant asshole.
It's like,
when you
but
state
you-
your
but you can-
opinions.
But you can still be assertive without being, you know, an
Well,
arrogant
see,
asshole.
I was going to say that I don't, but then again, my channel has not grown nearly so fast as his, so maybe he's more on the money about how to do this.
Well, I mean, he does also do a shit ton of networking on Reddit.
He
So,
does do that, yeah. Which
There
I
is
have never
that.
been very good at that.
So, yeah. But so who wants to go first?
I don't have anything.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to read the entire story because it's a 3,000 word, and I don't want to be here all day with reciting, you know, that one thing. But I can read what part you've read it, Caitlin. What part of Ripjaw should I read?
Well, you could go with the middle.
What do you mean the middle? Like, there, because
it's sort of kind of the middle where, I don't know, where they realize that they're being chased by something other than what they thought they were being chased by.
yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good place to start though, because hang on, let me just pull this up here.
Or you could start from the beginning and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll just start from the beginning. Like, hang on. Yeah, I think I'll start from the beginning. Step. And stop here. Okay. So this is a horror short that's part of my garden saga. It's set in the same world as my 2.5 now novels. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and start. Okay. All right.
Oh, Zach, you're frozen.
I'm frozen?
Or you
Am I still?
keep glitching. Or at least on my end, I don't know. What do you see, Caitlin? Does he keep like freezing and stuff?
There's a little bit of lag.
Okay, now you're back.
Yeah, now you're good. Okay.
Okay. Ah, fuck. Shit.
Mason, it's like your dirty little secret.
Wait, what's my dirty little secret?
No, not you, Mason.
Oh.
Agreed, Nat. His Chanel is one of my favorites. But I feel
No.
because that's how it's spelled.
Facts.
His Chanel is one of my favorites, but I feel so stupid and ashamed of myself afterwards. Be like, well, you know, when a man puts on women's cologne, you should be.
Okay, Mason. All right.
As he lags again.
God damn it.
Try
Like,
exiting and coming back in. Because that typically works. Yeah, see, you're frozen again.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'll exit and come back in.
Do, 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 do,
Is that on your end or my end?
Do what?
The screaming kid.
The screaming kid is on my end. Yes.
Okay. Because
Yes.
I have like
my niece is back now that
everyone's not with COVID anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it's good that everyone's all okay again and like feeling normal.
Yeah, because that was a bit hairy. My dad's situation, that was real fun.
Oh, was he like one of the?
Oh yeah, it was bad. Like his oxygen levels apparently were so low that he got up in the middle of the night and went into the kitchen and passed out.
Oh, that's scary.
It was like 4 something in the morning, and I had to go in there, and I had to be calm the entire time because my mom was freaking out. And so yeah, I had to schedule my freak out for after the paramedics were gone. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yep. Yeah. So, okay. You'll have the floor, Zach.
Okay.
Oh, you made Mason upset.
Aww.
Cut him so deep it blinded him.
And he spelling wrong. It's okay. Oh, and you forgot the period at the end of care.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Today on the menu. For today's special item on the menu, we have a nice fried Mason. The apple in his mouth is called a Galaxy Crisp, which is a Washington native variety.
Yes.
I mean, it's nothing serious. It's just common. It's not like you're writing anything.
No.
That's what I be telling people. People, like, I'll be arguing online, and people will be like, "Why should I listen to you? You don't even bother with the right spelling of your." And it's like, listen here, you stupid little shit. This is an argument on Facebook. If I gave a fuck about this, maybe I would bother using the correct spelling. But I'm literally just trying to reply to you in real time so it doesn't look like I disengaged from the argument.
See, and honestly, that's how you know you won the argument.
Right.
Because they cannot form a coherent rebuttal other than you spelled this word wrong, therefore your opinion is now invalid.
Right.
And no, it's not. It's just you're a fucking idiot and can't say anything against my
I know
side.
I've won the argument when they start attacking me, they start repeating the points they've already made, or they just start making fun of like stuff on my profile or like the way I say things. It's like clearly in the arena of ideas, I have won and you are a fucking moron, which happens quite often.
Well, especially on Facebook. Like,
humans aren't organic. We're full of microplastics. Sad facts. Sad first world problems.
Yeah. But see, Mason, fat is what gives things flavor, dear.
That's true. Fat and salt are the vehicles by which flavor travels.
Yep. Which would make you optimum.
You just have to you trim the meat so there's a fatty line and of course what do they call that? Rippling? Opaline?
Rippling, yeah.
Yeah, rippling of fat.
Yes.
But anyways, okay. Let me put on my horror music here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can't get all dark and spooky because there's sunlight outside.
There's sunlight.
And
damn
remember,
it!
don't yell into the microphone.
Oh.
It's not that kind. Well, I mean, it is that kind of story later, but we won't be getting to that part during because I'm not going to read the whole thing.
And marbling. Yes.
Marbling.
Mason.
That's the word I was looking for. Marbling. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, darling.
They had been running all day, but they couldn't stop. The moment you stop, is the moment they catch you. So the two humans without names ran, the taller, older man dragging the young woman. "Hurry!" he urged between heavy, panting breaths. She had no air to reply, and half of her speed was actually him dragging her by the wrist. It was everything she had in her just to avoid falling. Her vision started blurring red as the sun set into the eastern sky behind the Gates mountain range. In her hyper-exhausted state, she didn't see the tree branch. Her foot snagged, and she fell hard and fast. The lightly forested area would help hide them from sight, but the canids had noses that could track you into the void itself. They weren't safe. "Stupid girl, get up!" He dragged her to her feet roughly and tried to take off running again. She tried, but her muscles had had enough. Miles ago, she was at the end of her reserves. "I can't," she cried, pleading to whichever of the gods may be listening, hoping they might take mercy on a mere human and her only friend. "Gods damn it, girl! I'll not end up in the void for you! Move!" Her tears redoubled as she strained, begged her body to move. But nothing she could do in that moment would make her muscles unclench and work again. She turned her face to him, looking into his light brown eyes. "Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me alone in the dark." His strong, weathered face softened as his mind flashed back to the moment they became friends years ago, when she was new to being enslaved, and he offered her words of comfort and a warm fire to sleep by. He knew he could not leave her. "Damn you, girl," he said, scooping her up. He was now grateful for all the times their master had starved them. She was quite light. He slung her over his shoulder and began running again, as fast as he was able. Behind them, he could hear the howls of the canids, far in the distance. But now that he heard them, it was only a matter of time. No human can outrun a shifter. They were doomed. He knew he should not have let her convince him. He never should have ran. And now they would both die. And for what? A measly taste of freedom? But, then again, his life in chains hadn't been any better. Perhaps death was preferable to another 30 years of slavery, before a miserable death and having your body thrown to the pigs. Maybe this run into the wilds was to be the highlight of his life. The gods are evil and cruel to humans. I hate them, and their precious shaman and shifters. To the void with all of them, he thought to himself. "Look, in that clearing, there's an evergreen bush. We can mask our scent." He stopped and looked in the direction she had pointed, and there in the clearing was a large, bushy evergreen plant, the only thing he knew of that could fool a shifter's nose. Maybe fate isn't so cruel, he mused, hoping.
Wait, is that it? You're not.
I mean, there's a lot more. Do you want me to keep going? Because I can.
I don't care. You can if you want. Wait, but Nat has some questions.
Here we go.
But they'll feel
Mason.
Nat, can you go through the comments?
Yeah.
That was so about that one, Nat. Her name isn't girl. In my world, it's common for the shifters to not name their slaves. They see them as less than like a dog to them. Like humans are beneath like a beast of burden. They're like the lowest form of life. So they often don't even name them.
Yeah. And there's a historical precedent for that in real world, because back in like ancient Babylon and times
It's
like
called
that.
a head start, Natalie. It is called a head start. You sneak out and hope that you get enough distance between you and them that they
Yes.
can no longer pick up your scent.
Yep.
Which is, again, actually how real world slaves ran away too, because their masters had horses, so you had to sneak out at a time when they wouldn't notice you gone for a while.
Yep.
Yep.
Because getting a head start is generally a very good practice if you're trying to get away from something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not okay. I'll do some more then. Let me turn my music back on.
Yeah.
Get a drink of water.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Put it on a shirt.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's going on the list.
Put it on a shirt. We should
Well,
put
no, that
we should
or
put it on a shirt. On a shirt.
on a shirt. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, that and art for the story.
Yeah, the art for this story would make a pretty good shirt, actually. Okay. Maybe fate isn't so cruel, he mused to himself, daring to hope. He darted... Oh, excuse me. He darted towards the brush and threw her into it before wrestling himself into its thick, leafy confines. The sun was nearly fully gone behind the mountains. In mere minutes, the land would be cast into the darkness of night. Maybe here, inside the brush, they could hide. It was their only hope, he reasoned. No man outruns a shifter. What are we doing? She whispered. Hiding, he said, still panting for breath. But they'll just follow our scent right to the clearing. Fuck, he thought to himself in his panic. That had not occurred to him. Can you move? He tried not to let the anger and frustration into his voice. I think so. She got to her knees from where she landed. Scrub, then we'll keep going. She began grabbing handfuls of leaves and shredding them before rubbing them all over herself. She knew that without processing, the oil was less likely to work, but this was all they had. After they smeared shredded leaves everywhere, they stuffed their pockets with them and fought their way out of the brush and began running again. She was still slowed down, but they only needed to get far enough away from that clearing not to be seen or heard from it. They ran, and the distant howls were not so distant anymore. What? What?
Now I'm just picturing Mason with his English accent saying, "Excuse me," and then just chucking her in a bush.
Like I know that wasn't part of it, but I love the idea of him saying excuse me.
Excuse me. That's like a 007 move. Excuse me. Excuse me, miss, but this is gonna hurt. Yeets her into the fucking bush.
And it's a thorn bush too.
Thankfully, Everine is not a thorny bush plant.
Yes. Oh, and I also like that very much, Mason.
It says put it on a shirt. That's a good idea, Mason.
Yes. Come up with the best ideas.
Well, Nat, the answer... Okay, so... If you go to Nat's next thing...
Yes.
The answer to both of those is in my novel, The Garden of Lies, available
Exactly.
on sale now for 99 cents.
Yes. Yes. And after you read that, you might not be saying you want to see that void thing.
Yes. I know that wasn't part of it, but I love the idea. It's all right, Mason. We are here after all to interact with you guys.
Yes, exactly.
And have a good time.
So feel free to kibitz from the audience as much as possible.
But anyways, okay, fuck, where was I now?
They
From clearing to...
were scrubbing themselves down.
Right. But they... Okay, she was still slowed down, but they don't... Clearing... They ran, and the distant howls were not so distant anymore.
Dad.
God damn it.
Sorry. They need to be properly processed.
By essential oils. This one cures the common cold. This one restores appetite, and this one hides your scent from the deadly things that want to eat you.
Choose wisely, because this one makes you smell good.
Well, see, that's the thing about evergreen oil. It's extremely antibacterial, and it like kills everything, like everything scent-wise. So once you cover yourself in evergreen oil, you have no scent. That's why it's so effective.
Real thing? I've never heard of it.
No, it's a creation. It's a fictional creation. It's my
okay.
It's my original idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the story.
Yeah.
I'll ignore the comments for now.
Okay.
Oh.
And there's a story behind how I came up with that plant, but we can talk about that after the story. Okay. They ran, and the distant howls were not so distant anymore. Their speed picked up as panic gripped them. A fate worse than death awaited them after capture. Beatings, being eaten alive, or raped to death. None of that sounded appealing. So despite their throats being dry as desert sand, and despite their legs burning like a branding iron, they still fought for every inch as they charged into the night. Finally, another thicket even more dense than the evergreen appeared, and they hurriedly rushed into it. The howling grew closer, and they trembled in fear. The girl wished to hold her friend for comfort, but he didn't like it when she did that. He had been beaten every time their master saw them touching, so naturally it began to make him uncomfortable in short order. They shook in terror as the howling grew closer and closer. The sun was gone now, and with clouds covering the 3 moons, the world was cast into complete darkness. They were defenseless, and effectively senseless when compared to their pursuers. All they had was a fool's hope that maybe, just maybe, they would evade capture and finally be free. The howling ceased. He didn't know if that was a good or bad thing. She thought maybe they had arrived at the clearing and they were trying to pick up the trail. And that's when they heard a new noise. Screams. Screams of surprise and pain. The girl had to hold back a scream and cover her mouth with her hands. She hated how afraid she was. As the sounds of savagery echoed through the forest, both the humans' hearts raced. Only one thing could threaten canids in their own territory. Ripjaws. The single most dangerous animal on Garden. The hunter that always catches you. The shadow that always sneaks up on you. The devourer of children and fierce warriors alike. They have long, sleek bodies, short black fur, long, slender muzzles with sharp, serrated teeth. Their tails are long and hairless like a rat's, and they have both bone-attached and retractable claws, so they can chase you anywhere. They can see in pitch black. They hunt in packs, and their bite can tear through all but the very best armor like it was paper. It is said that Ripjaws aren't animals at all, but demons from the void. It is said that the god Magnetoris brought shaman and shifters to this world to hunt them to extinction because he found them so vile and repugnant. Whatever the truth was, the fact remains. Ripjaws are the last thing you see before being eaten. At least, if you're a human. The sounds died away, and the 2 humans cowered and shivered inside their bush, despite the desperate to remain still, silent, and hidden. Moments bled into minutes. Minutes into an hour into 2. But their hearts had hardly slowed a beat. "Do you think they're gone yet?" The girl finally dared to speak. "How should I know?" the man said. "After all, what does a slave know about the wilds?" The girl was scared, and so, in her ignorance, she foolishly sought to relieve herself of her terror. "What will you do once we make it to a human village?" "I don't know," he grumbled. "Do you think they'll welcome us?" "I don't know." His frustration was mounting. "I think they will. We should have names, so they know what to call us." The man looked at her, unsure where all of this was coming from, but the idea about names caught him off guard. He remembered long ago when he was but a child. Someone had given him a name, but that was a time forgotten. His life had been nothing but a series of beatings, menial tasks, and inadequate rotten meals. He remembered thinking that names were things for people and things that mattered. And he obviously did not matter. "Enough, girl," he said sadly. "I think we'll call you Beerus, and I'll be Bazelle." "Enough!" he roared, scaring the girl. She recoiled in frightened surprise, and tears began to well in her eyes. His anger echoed through the forest, and he instantly regretted his stupidity. But he was so angry and tired, at his wit's end, that reason had completely left him. "Why? Why must you always insist on fantasizing? Why must you pretend the world isn't the bleak, worthless shithole that it is?" Beerus roared. The girl, shocked and now scared equally of him as the dangers of the night, recoiled from him as he yelled, scooting away unconsciously. Tears running down her cheek. Tense moments passed, and Beerus did not calm down, but at least he stopped shouting. He simply glared at her and waited for an answer. Bazelle's eyes watered with sadness and fear. She felt small and betrayed and helpless, but she was also determined. So she wiped her eyes in preparation to answer. Her hands pressed away tears firmly, and when they fell, a black muzzle could be seen behind Beerus in the bushes. Her heart exploded with motion even as all of her muscles coiled into knots. She was frozen with fear as she looked silently at the predator's serrated teeth, dripping bloody saliva. Be, she stammered in near silent whispers. Do not call me by that name. I don't have a name, he roared. Something in her broke. Behind you, she cried, and the Ripjaw pounced, latching onto the back of Beerus's neck and shaking him violently. His screams of agony pierced Bazelle's ears. She lost control of her bladder and soaked the ground beneath her. Blood sprayed her face as she watched her friend die in stunned panic. The Ripjaw tore his head from his body in moments and began eating the flesh and muscle of his shoulders and back. Beerus's head was flung from the Ripjaw's mouth and hit the ground rolling, coming to a rest right beside Bazelle. His eyes open, shocked, and meeting hers. She screamed. She screamed so loud it tore her throat, but she kept screaming. The Ripjaw looked up from its meal and began to make a deep, resonant, growling sound, like a landslide echoing in the distance. Finally, her senses returned to her, and she shot to her feet and bolted. She had no idea where she was running. She couldn't see her hand in front of her face, but she knew if she stopped, she would die. The smell of blood and urine stung her nose as she sprinted through the dark forest. Every few steps, she would trip and fall, only to quickly regain her feet and begin again. She couldn't hear the beast chasing her, and the sounds of the forest offered no more information than before. But in her mind, it was right on her tail, nipping at her heels. Every twig that scraped her bare foot, every jagged rock, was a Ripjaw's teeth chomping at her tendons. If she hadn't already emptied her bladder, she would be pissing herself even as she ran for her pathetic life. Then she slammed face first into a tree. And that's where I'll stop. That's halfway through.
And
Oh my
goodness.
Echo.
Is it? I wonder if it's me again. Hang on.
But I will say the tonal change in the music was timed so perfectly. You couldn't have timed it better had you planned it that way. Yes. And I like your rhyme, Mason. It rhymes.
And that's so she falls all over the place, then runs face first into a tree. She's
Yes.
just like destined to die. Like if this bitch lives.
I want you to go by the story. You to go by the story, but I will give you a minor spoiler. Everybody dies. No one makes it.
Yes.
The
Everyone
And there's
dies.
more characters do come in.
Everyone dies eventually.
And she's rubbing leaves on herself like these. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm catching up on the comments.
Yeah. I was playing them in real time as you were reading.
Oh, thank you, Nat. Their distant howls were not so distant. Yeah, I agree. I thought when I wrote that, I was like, that's good. Thank you.
Yes, it's very, very good.
Yes, 3 moons. And there's actually, so if you go and you can see the map of my star map of my world for free in my in the previews of my books on certain stores. If you go and look at the preview, there's a star map in my novel, and that's the night sky from my protagonist's house. So you can actually see the 3 moons and all the constellations that are closest to them.
Yeah. He also commented about
Right.
tonal shift in the music. And
It was good.
yes, it was very
Sounds like a great pet.
good.
Yeah, Ripjaw. When the funny thing, so the Ripjaws, I was trying to think of a name that was like, I didn't want it to be like some ridiculous fantasy name, but I wanted it to be scary, and I wanted to instill fear, and I was like, and I tried to think of a character that like had that same commanding aura of fear, and I actually thought of Grimjaw from Bleach, who was he had a very commanding predatory aura, and I was like, Grimjaw, Ripjaw. So that I borrowed name inspiration from Bleach a little bit on that one. That's a good critique. See and that's so on that one. That's just a spoiler for actual. That's a good critique, though. Now, I'm new to short stories, and I didn't know how much time I should spend building those characters up.
You should do something like we're seeing them like escape whatever they're trying to run away from, and then that's when they're in the forest.
Chick is kind of. That's fair. But I mean, to be fair, but in my defense, just a word for myself, the scared female trope is kind of based in reality. It's like this is not a well-educated girl. She's been a slave her whole life. She's never had any kind of preparedness training or character building. She's just a girl.
And having been in some pretty dicey situations, most people don't react like I do. Having had 5 brothers. So the trope comes from a very, very real stereotype. Hence, it's a trope and not just a cliche, because it's something that's common in life and not just in fiction.
Do you know what's another trope though? Now that you said you were the girl who grew up with 5 older brothers.
Yes. Well,
that in itself is a trope.
Yeah, having 5 brothers. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's called being Irish.
What simile? I'm curious, Mason. What simile are you talking about? And when a Ripjaw is eating your friend, run like the wind. I agree.
Yes. And I like that it was a rhyme. Because it sounds like something old-timey. Yes. Walked. Similar.
Slavery doesn't equal instant. Well. So my goal with. Well, I mean, I can't even call it a goal because that's just the world. That's.
Wow,
again,
like
this is preset.
Oh yes. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I like that too. Thank you, Mason.
Yeah.
But the slavery thing is because that's just the world they're in. If you're a human, you either live in what's called the common, which is kind of a wild territory, and it's very dangerous to live out there because there's no government of any kind, and the human settlements that are out there are like they're kind of self-governing and they get raided all the time for resources and slaves. And if you're a human that lives inside the empire, you're either a slave or a freed human, which is just another word for second-class citizen. Or even third or fourth class citizen.
Yes. So yeah, this is fantasy horror.
There needs more. What was it? What was the monster called? I keep wanting to say it's Lockjaw, but it's not.
Ripjaw. Ripjaws. Yeah.
Are there going to be more of those? Like maybe she gets like murdered by a gaggle of them. Like not just one, they just rip.
There are, that's the main monster of the story, and the story, like I said, everyone dies. So yes, there's more of them.
Oh, but I think you could, Mason, just dip your toes in, and it's extremely it's extremely addictive. I will tell you. It's like this is practice for when I get my own universe someday.
But I think, Mason, that you should, if you feel like you wouldn't be good at world building, just try making like a contemporary 2.0. Like take this world and just tweak some things. There's some things like make it a fantasy version of this world, and you can take it either to a better version of this world or just an alt version, like a Bizarro version, or a dark version, which. I mean, what could get darker?
Right. Yes. Which is another reason why
I appreciate that, Nat. I really do.
But
wait, but wouldn't that be a dark fantasy and not fantasy horror? Because isn't dark fantasy like a fantasy horror?
I think there's
a slight difference.
Right. I was about to say, I think I would personally say that a dark fantasy is just where there's a lot of like really gritty, like real world style, sad things and things that are like really morose and miserable. And it's like, look at how bleak this world is. And then horror is like explicitly, I'm trying to scare the shit out of you with this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because the tone is completely different. I mean, because if you were to go for like, and this has actually become a genre of its own. They call it grimdark, but it was just all-encompassing of dark fantasy in itself, like the original Grimm fairy tales. And I mean the original Grimm fairy tales, you know, where...
Wait, I agree with your comment, Nat. Just didn't mean to cut you off, Caitlin. I just wanted to...
Oh, no, you're...
The last comment.
Yeah, exactly. Monsters eating everyone is horror. Yeah. Well, to some extent, if there's not really any kind of suspenseful build-up to that point, and it was built on more of, like, we'll say, a cautionary tale. Shanna!
Hey,
Long time
Shanna.
no see.
Hi, darling.
Well, Caitlin, to counter that, I would just say, well, then it's just bad horror.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because think about what the purpose of having monsters eat people is, Caitlin. It's supposed to build a sense of urgency and fear and raise the stakes. So no matter where you put that, it's going to add a horror element. It might not be one of the main aspects of the story, but if it is one of the main aspects of the story, it's certainly now lumping it closer and closer to horror. So even if that is done poorly, I think it still would, at least make it one of the subgenres of the story.
Yeah. I mean, so you could at least fit it into that category. Hi, darling. Oh, so, Katie, did you have anything?
Well, I read my creepypasta on the last episode.
Okay.
I didn't write anything, no.
Okay. Well,
but you have all your stuff.
Yes. How does paranormal differ from horror?
See, I was going to bring that up because if it's werewolves, that can be considered paranormal horror because they're shifters.
Yeah. Because for something to classify as paranormal, it must have some kind of a supernatural element in it, however minuscule.
Right. And see, not all 100% obvious that not all horror has to have that element, but a lot of paranormal is horror. Yeah. Not all, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound like that. That by itself sounds pretty weak, because as someone with eczema, let me tell you, I dig into my own skin all the time. And it's not necessarily horrific, it's just gross and painful.
Yeah. I mean,
autoimmune disease sucks.
Yeah. I mean, because there is a way to do good body horror.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen it, but based on what I've heard, like Body Snatchers is good body horror.
Yes, that is good. Thinner by Stephen King.
Have you guys seen The Ruins or read the book?
I have not.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite body horror. I love it.
Yes. We shall have to check that out. Because as somebody who had kind of the reverse thing happen of Thinner, I could tell you it's very scary.
Wait, what do you mean the reverse? Like you just kept gaining weight?
Yes, and there was nothing I could do about it. Yeah.
So you're late to the show, Shannon, but if you just go back a little bit in the stream, I read the beginning of my short story, which is dark fantasy horror.
Yeah.
And it's set in my fantasy series, the Garden Saga.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, Ghost, Nat. The Ghost was a great movie. You're talking about the one that was weird. It was actually produced by McDonald's, but it was actually really good.
Yeah.
And it was, the Ghost was a great movie. I really loved that movie. It's such a sad romance.
Very.
I haven't seen it in like forever. I don't remember like anything except that pottery scene. Like the only scene that's famous from it.
Well, the iconic.
Yes, the whispering vines and the flowers.
Yes.
I love that book and movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See the first time.
Hang on. See, the first time it happened was pretty cool. I was done with. Yeah, I can imagine how that would get pretty old pretty quick.
Yes.
You know, Mason, I am not too proud to admit that a lot of horror really gets under my skin, too. That's one of the reasons I don't like horror very much, is I don't like walking away from a movie and being unsettled all day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I watch horror movies and read horror books to feel something. Like,
but the thing, like, what I endeavor to do with horror, why I like writing it somewhat, is seeing if I can push myself to the point where I frighten myself on going back and reading it after it's had time to rest and being like, whoa, what part of my brain did that crawl out of?
Oh, I know where all of my dark stuff comes from.
Almost like this. Looking back at this right here, like I said, I opened this file and my eyes were salted because
the armpit.
Which file?
Yes, the armpit fiend with an Oedipus complex
Oh God, yeah.
that I had to write all of this for.
That's kind of an interesting dynamic to grow up in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie either. The only cool part was when we found out about the parasitic twin and like we got to finally see it going like on the back of her head. It was I laughed so hard.
Yes.
See, Mason, I feel like me and you might have quite a bit in common. Because same, bro. Same. It's like slasher movies. I walk away and I'm just like, man, that would suck if you were in that situation. But I watched like Oculus and I was like, that fucking mirror demon is coming for me.
Okay, so the psychology behind that is probably because you saw your alley crackhead monster thing as a kid and that kind of scars you. No, for real.
No, I'm not. I know. It's not a crackhead.
I mean, yes,
that's what she calls
it's your
him.
friendly neighborhood crackhead who's just checking up on you, but instead scarred you for all eternity.
He's like, oh, that little boy in the window looks good.
He's like, what was? No, not Clayton Bigsby. What's the other one where he's like?
Oh.
Not the crackhead. The guy like, oh my god, what's his name in the?
Are you talking about
show?
Dave? Are you talking about Dave Chappelle's? Oh,
yeah, where it's like, do you got some of them drugs?
You got any more crack? and then in that one, he's like got a piece of bread with peanut butter. He's sprinkling crack rocks.
Yes.
He's like, peanut butter and crack sandwich. Fucking love Dave Chappelle, dude. That guy is a treasure. Splice is good sci-fi horror. Yeah, I like Splice.
Yes.
See, true crime gets me creeped out just because they're real live cases. And if you watch as much as I do, you'll realize quickly that you do not need to be trusting anyone.
Exactly. And also when you sort of kind
Hey.
of live that type of situation too.
Hey Nat, what's your favorite scary SCP? I want to know because there's a lot of good ones.
See, yeah, I've been watching
Yes.
horror movies since I was in elementary school, like really young. So it's like nothing really phases me anymore. I'm
Yeah.
like, there needs to be more bloodshed and murder.
Right.
To,
Yeah.
or on the rare occasion, I will get spooked by a jump scare if I
Mhm.
can't catch it. 'Cause
You're
typically
talking. Oh, I'm sorry, Katie. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Because typically I could always catch the jump scares before they.
Yeah, I hear you. Especially in movies now. But yes, Nat, you're talking about Super Lizard 626. Or is it 636? Yeah, Mega Lizard. Yeah, I love reading all the attempted termination logs of Super Lizard. Those are so fucking funny. I really don't know why they don't just fucking blast him into the sun.
What is SCP? What is Lost TV Episodes?
Secure, Contain, Protect Foundation.
I've never heard of it.
Here, I'll link it.
Yes,
I'll link it,
Mason.
and you can.
Yes. Humans that play at being monsters are far more monstrous than any monster that ever played at being human.
See, I love home invasion books and movies simply because
It's
takes
in
a
the
normal
private chat.
person to murder all these people that are trying to break into their home. It makes a sane person do insane things just for the safety of themselves and their family or whoever else is in that situation. And that's why I like
13 Ghosts that one didn't scare me, but I found it interesting. I was like, man, I really want more lore on all. Like, the lore of that movie was so good.
Yeah, I want Netflix to do a backstory on each one of the ghosts and then remake the actual movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or just make it the whole season. Like make it a complete season, and you see Cyrus, which is the uncle getting the ghosts, collecting each of the ghosts, and that's where we find out all about them, and then he dies, and then they do the movie.
Shauna says on the DVD there's a story for each.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's like a little paragraph. They'll be like it says like, oh, this happened to this person. Like the Tauren Prince, he was obsessed with racing cars, and he was the star baseball player in his town, and he was going to go big, but then one night he drag raced with someone who cut the brakes of his car, and then he died. Basically, it's just like a little paragraph sum up. It's not really like in-depth.
That's kind of a lazy cop-out.
It is, but when the DVD first came out, it was really cool because it was very interactive.
Right. When it first came out, it was cutting edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was more than you would have ever got before that, so it was good for the time. I'll say this. A lot of the time, if you do it well, that kind of short snippet character building is all you need, because that's basically all the character building you got in the Twisted Metal games. And the Twisted Metal games have this entire cult fan-built lore verse around them where people like deep dive into each frame of the cinematics of the game and look at character designs and like deep analyze stuff. And there's the unused cinematic footage that you can find on YouTube that didn't make it into the games because they didn't have data technology that was good enough to fit all of that data into a disc. So they shot all these really cool cinematic endings for these characters that never made it into the game. And there's just so much fascinating lore around the world of Twisted Metal. I'm so stoked that it's getting a show. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yes.
Never heard of it.
What?
Oh yeah, the vending machine that you can get anything out of. That what I love about that is you can type any liquid into that thing and get it. or you might be talking about, because there's multiple like dispense weird stuff SCPs. There's also that SCP where you put something in and it has 3 settings: rough, normal, or I think it has more. I think it's like very rough, fine, very fine, splendid. And like if you put a rock in there and put splendid setting, you'll get like a chunk of gold that's in the same shape as the rock. But then if you if you put in like rough, you'll get like a bunch of grainy sand. It's so fascinating. The SCPs are so cool. There's some of those ones, and I love that it's like an entirely fan-built community. Yeah, the SCP. Yeah, the food.
And they're just like stories or something.
Yeah,
I quickly looked at the link you sent, so I'll have to look at it more later.
So really quick, so it's a fan. It's built like a Wikipedia site. It's built on the Wiki engine, and each entry is like a case file on this paranormal thing that this fictional organization contains. So think of it like the X-Files meets like it's like X-Files meets
Sci-fi.
Well, the X-Files
is sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Oh, I'm thinking like the Sci-Fi Channel, like the kind of stuff you see on the sci-fi.
Yeah, kind of. And yeah,
Like
if you talk like Sci-Fi Channel, but I'm thinking like another fictional, because what's a good? Ooh, it's like X-Files meets S.H.I.E.L.D. from Marvel. Because they're this super secret, no one knows about them organization that has a shit ton of power, and they can basically do whatever they want, but they only deal with like paranormal and really advanced technology shit.
Yeah.
Might be good. I like
almost like a larger scale Warehouse 13.
Yes, that's another. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. Because I didn't see it, but yeah, exactly like that. Or like Fringe, but much more paranormal in nature.
Yeah.
I haven't watched like any of these shows.
Oh, you need to.
But my mom has. I
Fringe
recognize
is really
the
good.
Warehouse 13 and X-Files. I didn't watch The Shield or Fringe.
But Cait, if I want to hear at least some of one of these stories that you brought, and I have to go to work, I have to leave at the latest in 1 hour. So
okay,
let's get to
all
that.
right, okay. So yes. Oh, okay. Oh dear God. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna wade into the filth. Okay. Woo! Here we go.
And watch, these are going to be like masterpieces, and I'm going to be like, you need to put these up on Kindle. One shots.
Well, I might have to do some readjusting, but yeah. Okay. The sound of rhythmic pulsing drums pounded in my ears. My vision blurred as darkness encircled my peripherals, threatening to consume all sight. The drumming continued amidst a rising and falling white noise that was made known to me in the background. I realized it was my own shallow, rapid breathing and the drumming my heart. The scene was covered in a veil of red. There was so much red. What was this? Where did it all come from? What was happening? Was I hurt? Worse, was Jake hurt? A surge of panic rushed through my body, making the drumming of my heart ring louder in my ears. Mom! Jake's distant voice broke through the chaos, berating my consciousness. As far away as if in a dream, maybe this was unconsciousness. Perhaps I was dreaming. I soon realized when reality gripped me as tightly as Jake's strong, sinewy hands shook my limp, bare arms and brought me back to awareness. My eyes darted to and fro, frantically scanning his young, nude form I was so familiar with for any signs of trauma. His taut yet supple skin that clothed his perfect rippling muscles was bathed in a mixture of glistening sweat and blood. Mom, he said again, in a more authoritative and masculine tone than he had ever used with me, reminding me how grown of a man he truly is, and this virile, commanding young man is my son.
Oh, God. God, I feel so dirty already. Jesus fucking Christ.
Putting my hands out, my fingers slid down his well-crafted chest and abs, leaving trails in the blood that covered him. Are you okay? Are you hurt? I finally was able to force out, "It's okay, Mom, I'm fine. You didn't hurt me." He reassuringly cupped my cheek in his steady hand. "Didn't hurt you," I thought to myself. Suddenly it hit me as I looked down at my own nude body there in front of him on my knees. I was also covered in blood, and more than he. The images assaulted me one by one, like flashbangs going off in my head. I saw the image of Dr. Taylor and the beautiful, buxom Cynthia there with Jake. In a frenzied passion, Cynthia riding Jake, her breasts hanging deliciously with perfect maroon erect nipples, as she deftly... Oh my God! Anyway.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
As she definitely... Oh, God. Anyway, shall I continue?
I mean, I guess.
Okay. Oh.
Perfectly maroon erect nipple.
Yes.
Put that on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt.
Yes.
I know. No, so the shirt actually has printed nipples, and then between them it says perfectly maroon erect nipples! Exclamations. Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt. Oh.
Caitlin, we really do have to make that shirt that has a picture of a t-shirt that says put it on a shirt on
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We are making that.
Oh my God.
That will be in the merch shop. I promise you that will be in the merch shop.
Yes. Oh my
That's
God.
genius.
Oh.
So fucking meta.
Yes, and we will have the nipple shirt unlisted, so you'll have to contact us if you want it. Hanging deliciously. Yes, Mason. I did this as a joke to myself when I took this job, and I was writing in this guy's voice. But
Right, she was
also-
ghostwrite. This what? Keep in mind, everyone, she
Also-
ghostwrit this
I go
for
through
Reddit
this.
pervert.
Yes, I did. And
For actual money.
Yes, for actual money. And got him more readers. When people realized the joke I was playing. Oh, goodness. Okay. The moment of climax grew closer and closer. Dr. Taylor and I watched intently, but for different reasons. While Jake's bulging thigh muscles twitched and his veins quivered, threatening to break free from their tanned prison. So ridiculous.
My veins are being imprisoned by my skin. Hanging deliciously. Although I will say, Mason, in her defense, a good set of tits. I mean, that's an apt description for a good set of breasts.
Yeah. I can do a man's voice on paper. I can. Okay, he wouldn't last long. She and I could both see it. Now, commanded Dr. Taylor, prompting Cynthia to quickly unstraddle my son. That is not a word, but we should make it one.
Unstraddled.
Unstraddle, yes. Then
Makes sense.
take, yes. Oh dear God.
All you have to make something that isn't a word. All you have to do is keep using it.
Exactly. I mean, Shakespeare invented 1,700 words,
Exactly.
at least on record. So yeah. Oh dear God. Okay. Then, taking his purple engorged throbbing penis in her dainty yet firm hand, she slid her long fingers up
It was
the
a
shaft to
one-eyed,
the
one-horned
gland.
flying purple people leader. One-eyed,
Literally
one-horned flying
sounds-
purple people leader.
It literally sounds like she's touching an eggplant.
Basically, Okay.
He
Oh,
climaxes
she
himself
slid
into oblivion.
She slid her long fingers up the shaft to the Gladys. Jake moaned and shuddered with pleasure and discomfort, gripping the sides of the chair. He cried out, "Why won't you let me finish?" Dr. Taylor affectionately stroked Jake's now luscious hair. "Just a little longer, Jake. You can do it for me, can't you? The longer you delay, the more momentum and volume of the sample. It's the only way we can conduct this treatment effectively, and you don't want to waste my time, do you?" Her gentle stroking of his locks turned into a harsh, quick snatch as she swiftly snapped his head back by his hair, forcing him to look her in the eyes. "No," he trembled. "No what?" she said sternly, still gripping his hair and his cock. "No, Dr. Taylor. Good boy." She placed a fervent kiss upon his lips, tasting his tongue as she did. She then nodded to the naked and dripping Cynthia standing before them. "He's ready." Cynthia swiftly swept herself back onto Jake, somehow remaining completely stone-faced as she impaled herself on his now behemoth organ.
Wait, are they still covered in blood?
No. This is a flashback.
Oh, okay.
You find out, yeah. Because this is the flashback that she's having. Miraculously. Making no sound.
Volume of the sample, I'm dying.
And I am trying not to cry from laughter.
Purple? How much goddamn blood is in that thing?
So much.
God.
Oh.
Look at all the blood.
Look at all the blood. Okay. Oh, okay. Miraculously, making no sound, she resumed, furiously writhing back and forth, moving on to circling her pelvis like a tornado, sliding up and down his dick.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really appealing, though.
Wait, say that line again?
I said, miraculously, making no sound, she resumed, furiously writhing back and forth, moving on to circling her pelvis like a tornado, sliding up and down his dick, is what I said.
This girl's got moves.
Yeah. She held the back of the chair that was more vocal than she through the whole session. Jake gripped her thighs, white-knuckled so tightly his fingers began to disappear into the indentions he made in her skin. There, I sat on the couch, filling with rage and jealousy at every delay. What truly was the point of this? Dr. Taylor had come so far from where we had started. The true purpose of these exercises in the first place, to cure Jake. I was the only one that possessed the ability to do so, and now I'm cast aside, forced to watch them use my poor boy like some lab project. There was no doubt Dr. Taylor took great pleasure in asserting herself by usurping my authority in my own house. No, I heard my inner voice cry out almost audibly, forcing me from my designated place on the couch. Dr. Taylor was preparing Cynthia to delay Jake once more. I couldn't let this continue. Walking over to the side table, I picked up the hefty ceramic pot lamp. Dr. Taylor paid no attention to me as she bent over Jake, taking his even more swollen cock in her hand. Cynthia's shocked expression and loud scream barely had time to warn her before I smashed the solid lamp into the back of Dr. Taylor's skull. She crumpled to the floor like a stomped paper sack. Cynthia tried to escape, but I soon overtook her with a quick yank of her ponytail. I brought her right back and slit her throat with a piece of the broken lamp. It all happened so fast. Jake sat frozen in the chair, all of his shining, sweaty muscles contracting, his cock still throbbing, ready to erupt at any second. He breathed and moaned heavily. I could see he was in pain. Oh, Mom, it hurts so bad. He said, distressed. All I could think of was him. I had lost all thought of the woman whose hair I still held as she lay at my feet, bleeding out. Oh, God, I can't even read this. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Inserting herself by inserting myself.
Oh, oh, God. I need to, but I don't think I can. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. I reached a calm I never had before in my life. I stroked his legs caringly, trying to transfer some of the calm to him. It's going to be all right. I removed the loose hanging silk robe I was wearing, revealing my naked, blood-covered body. I quickly got down on my knees. Mommy will help you. Don't worry. He nodded. Relief began to creep into his expression. Before I'd even started, he knew it would not be long before release would come. I ever so gently took his feverish, swollen penis in my fingers and eased it into my mouth.
Get it off! Why do I feel so dirty?
Gives another meaning of mommy dearest.
Oh,
God, why'd you say that, Kitty? Yuck! Get this sensation off of me.
Let's see. Jake let out a sigh as his head slid over the center of my tongue and penetrated my throat. I made quick but indulgent work of it, rotating my head from side to side, my tongue delicately stroking the shaft as I slid up and down. I could feel the muscles contracting. It wouldn't be long now. Then it happened. Glorious release. The warm fluid flooded out, filling my mouth, rushing down my throat and chin. After coming off, I sat there. I felt a strange sensation come over me, a sense of delirium, a shift in reality. Who was I? What had I done? What was I doing? The room began to spin, and darkness covered me. Now I was sitting here, still on the floor now, with Jake's soul-piercing stare, burning holes into my eyes. His gaze spoke volumes of confusion, amazement, and fear. Mom? He asked, almost whispering. His tone had become small, childlike, helpless. Oh, darling, I said, finally waking to myself. I'm here. What are we going to do? He panicked. I looked at the both of us, covered in all of these fluids, still seated on the floor. I took a glance over at the bodies who remained where I had left them. Don't worry, Jake. We're free now. I'll take care of it. I know what to do. But I need you to trust me. You're going to have to do everything I say. Do you think you can do that for Mommy? We have to be a team now, more than ever. Yes, Mom, he nodded. I drew him into my bosom, like I had done so many times when he was a child. He nuzzled deep into the crook of my neck. A feeling of confidence and resolve washed over me, like the tidal wave of their blood that baptized the both of us. We were reborn. Through this act, I had reclaimed my true authority and position as matriarch, and no one could take it from me. He was now completely mine, and that would never, ever change.
At least she wasn't like, you came out of me, so now you can come in me.
Right, exactly. Because we're gonna bring the cheese, but not quite like that. Yeah. So there you go. That is about all I can tolerate. But yes.
Do you have the other ones? Because you said you
Yes,
wrote
I do.
A bunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to have another nasty corner, like on the next
Yes.
one. Because like these are so cringy. They're well written, but they're so fucking cringy.
Right. It's like, never have I seen writing that was so good yet so repugnant. Oh God.
I wrote bad. Well, that's the point. See, if you're going to do something as a personal joke to yourself, do it excellently.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God, Zach,
Oh.
don't do that.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's okay. It is okay.
Oh my God.
Yes, because we're yes.
That just makes like every part of me feel so dirty.
Disoriented. I can't type properly.
The jug isn't going to be by enough.
I'm so sorry, guys.
How to make your viewers vomit. Just read them this story.
I told
That dude
you
paid
guys
you
it
to
was
write
bad.
that.
Yes, $200 a pop.
You should have kept that money train going. Like, you want it dirty?
I
I'll give you the dirty.
tried, but he got butthurt because his audience really, really liked the fact that it turned out to be a huge joke. Because I went full on like, okay, so now she murdered the doctor and her assistant. So turned out she was actually a runaway from an incestuous cult in the backwoods of Arkansas. And I was like, oh, okay, you want incest? I will give you incest. And everything that goes with it.
Someone's going to come out looking like a potato.
Right, exactly.
There's a reason.
This is my daughter, Amanda. Just kidding.
And here I was thinking my gay erotica would be too much for you guys.
Oh, no, baby.
The way you said that, Caitlin. The way you said that after reading that story, could you just not?
Zach is never going to be able to look at you the same way.
No, probably not. Yeah. Yes. You see here? Everybody thinks I'm so sweet and innocent.
She's a freak.
God. That is just...
Oh,
God, that is just... The fact that people like that shit.
Yeah. I don't do vanilla honey.
Oh God.
Nah, if it's worse than that, you need to burn it.
Oh God.
Well, it would seem I have quite sufficiently stirred the pot, so.
I feel like I need to go watch German dungeon midget porn to clean my brain. Oh my God.
I told you it was bad.
Oh God, I don't think they make a hammer big enough to fix this problem.
Zach, 3 hours later. Oh my God. He's gonna be like, okay, do another 5 reps. Oh my God.
Dead ass. And let me tell you. Okay, so my client that I'm going my first appointment today is this gal named Rachel, and she has like a similar personality to you, Katie, just like smart ass.
Yeah, cool.
Tomboyish, on this like in your face, no fucks given kind of personality. I would just be like, so guess what I heard today? And I'm gonna tell her this. Like, I was just on a write-in where we wrote some hard incest erotica, and it was like I literally feel
that though. We didn't write
give us some
anything.
context.
Yes.
You could just be like,
No,
a friend
context-
used to ghost write
Context is for pussies.
hardcore erotica that involved a father or a mother and a son.
Oh God. Well, Rachel, you see what I had heard was
What it ever
this
was.
thing that covered my brain in fucking filth. I feel like someone took a dump in my ear.
Oh man. You'd be
You will
like,
dream of this story until Saturday when part 2 comes out.
Oh God.
Oh.
I want to see Zach read one.
Oh God. Okay, I'll make you a deal. This is a deal for the audience, okay? If you guys share this around and there's 20 people consecutively watching the next stream, I will read the sequel. If you get 20 people to watch, like I will read the next one.
And the next stream is on my channel this Saturday
Uh-huh.
at 7
Katie's
p.m. PT or Pacific time, whatever.
Yes.
Oh God. I should have set the number higher. I don't want to read that. I don't wanna.
By the time he ends the story, he's crying, and his red mutant nipple.
I don't even feel like I can get a therapist after what the lady was doing.
Oh, see, Shanna, you're gonna have to come back on Saturday.
Yes, Shanna, you're gonna have to come back on Saturday and bring your friends.
Right.
Bring your
Peer
friends.
pressure Zach into reading this.
Yes. We'll give him the
With
next
his, like-
chapter.
Is there an anti-share function?
Nope.
The filth will spread.
Yes.
I will contaminate all of you. Minds will be corrupted. There will be no hope.
None.
Soon, everything will be disgusting and filthy.
Yeah.
Nice and greasy. Just like
And
a
then Zach
light.
will be in the corner in the fetal position, doing that and crying.
She took her son into her mouth.
Holy shit. What is this? Salty.
His balls were engorged and glistening.
Because that's not cheesy at all. Oh, good. Yes. Be back on Saturday, Shanna. With all of your friends.
Oh, God. That said no.
Well, what if they got high first?
But yes.
Would that make it better, Nat?
Well,
What if they were in a plane?
What if they got high while they were high? And then the son got high. And the mom took off her... Oh, God.
And then a magic Ripjaw comes out and is all like, I'm ready to eat a bunch of people.
And then a Ripjaw, and then a magical wizard brought a Ripjaw through the dimensional ether into the plane. And long story short, everybody died.
Everybody died.
No, the massive eggplant was ripped off, and the maroon erect nipples were tweaked beyond repair.
But they did not go to France. They did not.
There is no weed I can smoke that will take this mental image away.
You're welcome.
They don't make ganja strong enough.
But since they ate the incest people, now the Ripjaws are now incestuous, and now it goes over into Zach's world.
Hey, Cait, really quick, so Nat can see what a Ripjaw looks like. You should screen share and show them the art you made.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's not on the same computer.
Oh, you can just go on Facebook Messenger and pull the image up though, because I sent it to you.
Okay. Yes.
Or I guess, and even I could, hang on, I think I can screen share too, can't I? Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah, she just has to allow it.
Yeah, hang on, I'll just do a Cait. Oh, goddamn.
That's how he has to read the story.
Oh, goddamn. Oh, yeah.
Yes, and you have to do it in that voice.
And do the mother in that voice too, but make it good son.
Katie, why do you hate me?
Because if you're gonna go big, you go big. You don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
You have to make it extra cringy. If the son sounds like that, the mother has to sound like that at like some point during the
Okay,
scene.
can you guys see my screen?
No, she has to share it. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you see it now?
Yeah. So it's just like a massive jaw.
Well, I mean, yeah. That is the idea, yes.
Don't be a smartass.
So Cait did the actual jaws of the animal, and then for some reason she was having trouble getting like my idea for the text right. I think it's partially the fact that the program she's working with isn't that good. So
Yes.
I did the text and I did my name and added the blood effects. So it was a team effort. But Cait did the majority. Cait did the whole animal.
Now, what's with the X and the 3 dots above?
So the 3 dots, that's just you could call that imperfections in the art. That was, she was trying to black out the background so only the jaws were visible, and that's just stuff that kind of, you could think of that as like design flaws. And the X is the animal's pupil.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So it kind of like has the jaws of what, like an alligator?
Think of like if a alligator and a canine and a shark all had the genes for their jaws and teeth crossbred.
Got really drunk one night and banged each other, and then out popped this fucking Ripjaw thing
Right.
that only a mother could love. Literally.
I'm going for boring.
Trumpets or something.
I'm never sharing my writing with you guys. It will seem so lame and boring.
Well,
No.
you just have to like write some weird smut.
No.
Make it worth it.
I'm sure that your stuff is not.
Make some
boring.
Ripjaw bestiality erotica.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you said you don't really watch anime, Nat, but the Ripjaws were actually inspired by the inner demon of Guts from Berserk. I drew a lot of inspiration for some stuff for a lot of things in my world from Berserk because it's just such a good story. And the Ripjaws are largely based on Guts' inner demon, at least in terms of their physical design.
Oh, so weird. Oh.
But I have some gay alien smut, but it's not that hardcore. Watch the relic on the field. Huh?
What?
Watch the relic. Is that the relic? The monster? Is that an anime or something?
Don't know. Clarify, Shauna. I'm not writing right now. Oh. Well, that is interesting, though. That isn't boring.
Demon, I did not, Mason. Demonata, no. I don't even know what that is. Although I do agree with Nat that story premise sounds good.
Is that a manga, Mason?
I know it's an erotica. It's a manga erotica. Or what is it called?
Nice, Mason. I plan on doing recordings for all my my audiobooks too. My short stories are going to be, I'm going to put my short stories up as free videos on my YouTube channel, but my novels will be narrated by me as audiobooks. Of course we have gays.
What if it's just the whole entire planet
bite my tongue.
is gay?
I mean, from like a world building perspective, that wouldn't make sense. But if you're just trying to make some erotica,
yeah, it wouldn't because of having babies. But what if like they came to Earth and instead of the Earth person thinking, the alien wouldn't understand. The alien's all like, "Ew, straight people," or like something like funny like that. But then I don't know. Some people can probably get upset.
I'm Googling Relic the Monster right now, Shannon.
Yes.
Ooh, this thing looks terrifying. So, I wouldn't say this. Nah, this doesn't exactly look like a cousin to the Ripjaw, because this thing is clearly amphibian or reptilian in biology, whereas the Ripjaws are much closer to a mammalian in biology.
Darren Shawn, is that the guy who did Cirque du Freak? I think Traveling Vampire Show, I think it was.
With a woman's feet. That sounds so weird.
Croc dog with women's feet. Ugh. Power of the dick. You've been blessed, sir.
Like, which is hilarious because in other cultures, to take it up the ass from another man was was the ultimate humiliation.
And what culture was that, Cait?
There were several.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But then you have like the Greeks, who were who thought it was like part of bringing a boy into manhood to, take him as your little fuck toy.
Right.
You've been blessed.
Right. I will steward you into manhood by putting my cock up your ass.
Right.
At one point, there is a giant scorpion that uses its stinger to inject maggots into their eyes. Oh, that sounds horrific.
Yes. I will need to read this.
That does sound like it could be a pretty good read. And and back to Nat's thing about the aliens, that actually sounds, so if you had a species that for some reason the males evolved to be largely bisexual, that cultural aspect would make sense it makes sense that aspect of the culture would co-evolve due to the biology that a lot of the males tended to be bisexual. So that's an interesting little, what's the word I'm here? Logical connection of world building. It's an interesting idea. They fucked up the movies, and I'm not over it.
Yeah.
I'm reading Shannon's last comment.
Yes.
But is that the guy who wrote the vampire or Traveling Vampire Show or something like that?
Oh, the Vampire's Assistant.
Vampire's Assistant. Cirque du Freak. That's all I remember because I was really into the vampire series. I didn't know he did other stuff. If that's the same dude.
If it's the same guy.
Yeah.
I do not know. God. So, where shall we go from here, guys?
Well, we've been on for 2 hours, and he said he had to go to work.
Yeah.
Yes. First book, Kodak comes home. Home to find his family murdered These demons ravaging them. Ah.
Ooh, that's cool. He says, "Damn, sister, you're still ugly."
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, Katie.
Okay.
He answered.
We got
so
an
yes.
answer.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So. Aha. So. Do we?
Is a lord.
Is Lord Loss?
So we can.
We
I don't
wanna-
need to hop off until I'd probably hop off in like another 10 minutes. So we can either end it or go till I need to hop off. Whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. I mean, do we have anything that anyone would like to fill this 10 minutes with?
How long did it take me to read my story, Caitlin? Like the part that I read, because I can't read the rest of this in 10 minutes.
I think you were at least on for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't start it right away, but I remember looking at the clock and it was already like 55.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. I enjoy reading my stuff.
Saturday.
I could. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's bring your friends. Bring your friends. Have them watch this stream. And they can get the rest of the story on Saturday. I'll do that too.
Yep.
And more of the
other thing. If
you bring 20 people.
Yes, only if you bring 20 people. Oh, should we do it that?
That's just to get Zach for Zach to read it.
Yes.
I hope Stags is there on Saturday, because his reaction to that shit would be priceless.
Oh my god. Yes, that would be amazing.
And Billy, for that matter.
Yes, Billy. Oh my god. They're going to die. They're going to die.
I'm going to have to get high. If we get 20 people, I'm going to have to get high to read that shit.
Yep.
I can't do that shit sober.
Nope. Oh.
Well, you prove that you can.
What? Me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know.
Well, she wrote it.
Well, yeah, I wrote it.
I bet she felt dirty while she was doing it, too.
Yes, I did. I did. I was like white knuckles at the keyboard. I was like, oh my god. This is I sounded like Steve Carell from Bruce Almighty. And, you know, Evan at the anchor desk. He was like, oh
god.
Oh.
Sam, oh yeah.
Yes.
We should invite her to chill in the comments for the next stream or something, because I would love her reaction too.
Yes, we need that. I will have to share her the link for this one. Like, hey.
We've gotten creative.
But have you gotten this creative?
Right.
Good lord. Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, I've oh man. Yeah, I had to just keep thinking about the fact that I was like, you know what? I did this as a personal joke to myself, and I'm making $200 a short story. It's fine.
Yeah, just money.
You can, yeah. Yep, exactly.
Ah, yes, thank you, Shannon.
Yes.
They do come quite naturally. That comes from a childhood spent watching like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams movies and Disney movies and Saturday morning cartoons and just naturally having a very loud personality as well.
But do the voice you're going to be doing it in?
And being naturally talented.
Which one?
The one where I said, okay, but now when the mother talks, you have to do the same voice, but a little higher.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's a higher voice.
You want me to talk like this to you, baby?
Oh, my
No,
God.
you have to say mommy.
My throat.
And then
She's way too delicate. Sammy, Samantha, come listen to our tale. Come listen to the story. Oh God. I'll need to like have some like chocolate milk on my desk because doing that voice I can only do it for so long before I run my throat raw.
Yeah.
Run it raw.
Oh.
Wait, you didn't do it as the girl though. We have to see if you can do it higher pitched.
Like gravelly but still higher pitched or just
Yeah.
high pitched?
Like like the same like style of speaking but just higher. So it's his
like
mother's
Katie.
voice.
It's
Oh yeah. Do it to me, Sam. I like it in there. In my sin cave. Oh yeah.
And then switch to the sun.
Yes, mother. Do you like it while I put in my throbbing hard eggplant into your moist beef curtains? Oh yeah. I'm going to start pumping now, mother. Oh yeah. Do it to me. Yes, Mason, please. It would be a good palate cleanser for after we read this bullshit that hopefully I'm gonna have to read because I want you to get 20 people there.
Yes.
Don't you guys fuck us on this.
Yes. Don't focus on this. Don't you do
we're
it.
totally gonna read it either way, but yes, we need 20 people.
Well, yeah, but if you want me to read it,
Yes. if
bring
you want-
20 people.
If you want Zach to read it.
Nat can
That's emoji comment though.
Nat can share it on her Twitter. Because you remember she
Yes.
say like she
Yes,
has like
Nat.
thousands.
Your 5,000 followers.
Your 5,000 followers might appreciate some fucked up incest.
Yes.
We'll just lose we'll be canceled. Is that
Oh,
that stream
God.
that read that weird mother-son porn?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Goku gets his entire butt pumped by Lord Frieza's tail. Will Piccolo be there in time to save him? And will Gohan ever see his dad the same way again? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh God. Sure. Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah, but you got to share the link to the next one on your Twitter and tell them that
Yes.
if 20
At least
people
20.
show up, that
Yeah.
you get special, that you
Yeah.
get, that
So-
you get something special.
So Katie, set it up. Today.
Put your Twitter,
Oh, it's
put your
already
Twitter
out.
in the thing,
Oh, you
Nat.
scheduled it already?
Yeah, I made it last Saturday or Sunday. So
Okay.
I didn't forget. I think it was
Okay, cool.
Sunday.
Cool. So yeah. So everybody, go to her channel. Get the link to the thing.
Yes, go to Katie's channel.
Share it everywhere.
Get the link. Nat, before we end the stream, put your there we go. I'll go follow you right now.
Yes.
Pull up my tweetles.
You weren't
Yes.
following her before? Shame. 3 fingers of shame.
That's all I heard.
I've followed you, didn't I? Hold on. Yeah, I could have sworn.
Yeah, Nat, I literally just went there and it says I'm following you.
Same.
Yeah, I'll tweet at you right now so you see my account.
Hold on. Oops. Yeah. Oh, shit. No, I wasn't following you. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, see, Katie, this whole that you give me shit, but I was already
let me check.
following.
This whole time, Mom.
No, let
this
me-
whole time.
Hold on.
Harry.
Keep getting touched inappropriately.
No, from Home Alone movies, remember? Oh,
Mom,
God, I love
you
those
know,
movies so much.
Marv and Harry.
Okay. And
Shut up, Mom.
Shut up, Marv. How many fingers am I holding up, Marv?
So it's just me. Okay, share yours, Mason. We can connect on Twitter, bro. Follow me.
Yeah.
And I'll follow you back.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Mine is Zach the Dulge. If I see a notice that you follow me, or just share your Twitter handle in the comments, and I'll go follow you really quick.
Yeah.
Pull my Tweedles back up here.
Yes. We will all connect on the Tweedles.
You can't take it too personally because Tweedles is like my least favorite platform.
Yeah.
Tweedles is a place where intelligent thought goes to die. But then again, Facebook isn't much better, and I endless scroll on Facebook. So really, I'm just a hypocrite.
It's okay. Everybody.
Don't pout, Mason. I'm coming.
Oh,
yeah, Mason. Don't pout. I'm coming for you.
Wait, what is Mason?
At Mason _
I'm never on
in
Twitter,
the dark.
guys. So if you want to actually talk to me, hit me up on Facebook.
Oh, Bob Saget. I need to. There we go. At
Not
Mason
Bob
in the dark.
Saget.
Ah, yes. Good old Bob Saget. Bob Saget. Where is that faggot? He's following me on the Tweedles.
You are totally getting canceled for that.
Oh well.
Hey, man.
It's on my channel.
I have
It's okay.
nothing against the gays, okay? It's just a stupid little rhyme. There's
I know.
nothing wrong with being of the homosexual disposition.
Or is there?
He said, okay, that's not how you spell my name. I'll have you know, good sir. And I am offended that you would bastardize my mighty and proud name like that.
That you would compare him to someone that goes about lurking and living in windows.
Right. I had a fucking teacher, an instructor in dive school that called me Peepers, and it was so fucking irritating.
God.
Mr. Pieper. Literally, that's the name of the adult store that's like a few blocks away from my house. Mr.
That's
Pieper's.
funny. Oh no. Oh no.
Of course it is.
Oh.
Well, you could just pronounce your last name as, what was it, Piper?
Yeah, it's pronounced Pieper. It's Pieper. How the fuck was I supposed to?
Yes.
Well, okay, so I thought you had that software that like read you stuff from your screen, and I've made comments, so it should have read my name. Oh wait, but it wouldn't spell my name out though.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mason, you should just know this.
It's okay.
You should by the sound. It's all good.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah.
How dare you spell my name? You've only heard phonetically read by a robot.
Shame.
Well, it's you know what, Mason. It's your fault for being blind. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Oh, I love this guy.
Yes. Yes, we do love Mason, especially because he gets all of our ASDF references.
Right?
Yes.
Die, potato.
No!
My favorite one is when the potato is like, not today. Okay. I do need to get going though, so I guess that would be a good time to end. I gotta
Okay,
get
so
myself put together
next
for working on that
Saturday,
stuff.
we're on my channel.
Yes.
I don't know. Did you put links in the box below?
It reads phonetically. Okay, well, really quick, sir. It depends on what country you pronounce it from. Okay, because if you'd use the Scottish pronunciation, yes, it reads. No, excuse me, backwards. I said that backwards. If you use the German enunciation, it reads phonetically. If you use the Scottish pronunciation, which is where the name is originally from, and it had one less E in it, it used to be spelled like Piper before it went over to Germany.
Yeah.
Well, this is from tracing my family line. So it used to be Piper. It used to be Piper. And then it went over to Germany, got the extra E. Now it's Pieper.
They're like,
That's
this
where-
sounds
that's
like it
where
needs
my
another
family-
E.
Right. Because the Germans just love fucking up. Fucking up. I think you should pronounce it ball sack. Okay, Nat, fuck you!
It was Mason.
I think he picked and peppered. Oh my god! And I heard that so many times in high school. You're so original, Shanna. You're so original. Zach. Zach.
Ball sack,
God.
Pieper.
Oh God. Dear Lord.
That reminds me of a time. That reminds me of a time at Wendy's. I told them my name was Zach for my order, so they could call me, and they put my name down as Sack on my like SACK. I was like, really? Am I at fucking Starbucks now?
Yes.
It reads balls as balls. I'm not sure if I believe you, but if it does, that's hella funny.
Yeah.
Well, at least he did say change your on-screen name instead of Zach the Dolge. It's Zach the Ball Sack. But boom.
Oh, all right. So we
I hate
must,
all of you.
Oh.
except for me.
Yes, correct. Cait gets a pass.
Bitch.
Me and you have old beef.
Oh, okay, we're gonna go through that again.
We're digging up this skeleton.
Let's just open up the dumpster fire right now. This continues on.
No, I don't. I legitimately don't have time. I gotta get going.
Oh no, I
But,
said
yeah.
this will continue Saturday.
That's
and you
true.
have
We can
20
open up
people.
this. We can open this closet up in front of a bigger audience.
Yes.
And go over all the. And it's funny too because all those comments are still live on my channel, so people could totally go get all the lore off of our 2 pages, or off of my page because I never went on your page and commented.
I know. How rude.
I wasn't trying to
You
play
just-
into the drama, okay?
You just stole comments from my page and threw it in your video, and then that's when I commented just to cover my ass.
Actually, I think I pulled those off Sammy's. Yeah,
No,
I
you
pulled them
pu-
off
you-
Sammy's thing.
You pulled her comment off of my video because my fucking face is on the heart. No, you forgot to
Whatever, man.
X out.
Okay. Alrighty.
So next weekend,
Well, next
Saturday, 7
weekend.
p.m.
Saturday.
I'll bring my alien porn. Bet.
Yes. We
Yes.
will see
All right,
all
guys.
of you then.
Bye.
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 Here, wait, Zach, I have a question.